In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, I am very happy that we are able to be here for the 5th year together as a group. And we very much appreciate our collaboration with WCC and with friends and colleagues in the Center for Interreligious Dialogue and in the Ecumenical Institute. So what I'm going to share with you after a very helpful and informative session about the Christian understanding of interreligious dialogue by my dear sister. So I'm going to share with you some perspectives from a Muslim perspective. And just to say a little bit about the background, these reflections that I'm going to share with you are not purely or merely just academic. They are not result of only sitting in a library and studying books. Although from very young age I was involved in, academic studies. I was 17 when I went to the seminary, and then I did seminary studies. I did my Western philosophy studies, bachelor's and master's in Tehran University. Then I did my PhD in Manchester. But I tried also to practice what, I was studying. And when I was in Manchester, I tried to use this opportunity to know more about Christianity as lived and practiced, not as written in the books only. That is possible everywhere. But I thought now it's a good opportunity to meet Christians and have first-hand experience. So my PhD topic was not very much connected, although it was not disconnected. My PhD was about ethical relativism. So it was in, the philosophy field. But I was also using every opportunity to know more about Christianity. And we managed to start contacts with Focolare, with Church of England, then with other denominations, later with the Mennonites, so with many different groups. One of the interesting things that happened was one day I was sitting next to a priest, a Catholic priest who was also a Benedictine monk. And I told him, I come from a seminary background, and is it possible that I visit a Christian seminary in UK? And he suggested to visit Ampleforth Abbey, which is not a seminary, but a place for the formation of the monks. It's the largest Benedictine monastery in the UK. So we went together to Ampleforth Abbey, and we were for 2 days and 1 night. I slept overnight. I attended their offices of prayer. I visited different things. They had also a boarding school. And the abbot of the monastery at that time, late Abbot Timothy, who became a very good friend of mine, told me, you are always welcome to come here. And I very much love the atmosphere, the spirituality of, their prayers. So many times with my family, we went to the monastery, sometimes for 2 days, sometimes for a week, we stayed there. And also my wife decided to do her dissertation on love in Christianity and Islam, which was later published by New City, the Focolare public, and it's also published in other languages. So we used to go, and she was studying in the library using the books, discussing with the monks. So after several years of friendship, it was around, I think, 2000, 2001, Abbot Timothy told me, Muhammad, are you happy to talk about Islam for the monks? And I said, yes. He said, what are you going to say? And I had not thought about this, but thanks to God, it came to my mind. I said, I can give introduction to Islam and then talk about Islamic spirituality and end with some practical instructions given by Muslim mystics. So he said, why you don't give 3 talks, each of them in one session? So I used to, when I finished my PhD in Manchester, for 1 year I was in London. So I used to go from London to Ampleforth and give talk and come back. Then when I was going back to Iran in 2001, I invited one of the monks to visit us in Qom. This is the first time I'm inviting Christians to come to visit us. Not that others had not done this. I was doing this for the first time. So he said I should take permission from the abbot. He went to Abbot Timothy and said, is it possible I go to Tehran and Qom? And he said, yes, and I want to come myself as well. So 2 of them visited us in 2002. And we had very wonderful time. We organized for them lectures in Qom and invited people. And we traveled. And they were very happy. One day when we were in the car traveling between Qom and Tehran, we were talking about the next step. And we thought maybe we can organize Catholic Shia dialogue in the UK. And they said we can have it in Ampleforth, which is 4 or 5 hours away from London. It's in North Yorkshire. I said, it's great, but most of our people are in London or large cities, not in that area. So is it possible that we have 1 day in London and then we go to Ampleforth? They said we go back to UK and try to find a partner in London. Then they approached Heathrow College. Heathrow College used to be a very important college run by Jesuits, but unfortunately now they closed it down. So we decided to have 5 days of dialogue. Saturday in London, Heathrow College, we invite 50 people. Then a smaller group go to Ampleforth up to Wednesday, 2020. So we had in London, we went there. This was July 2003, the first round of Catholic Shia dialogue. And it went very well. And in the tablet, I don't know if you have seen Tablet. Tablet is a Catholic kind of magazine, is in English. It's very famous in UK, Ireland. So they said this was the first major British encounter of the Catholic theologians with Iranian Shiite theologians and thinkers. So then we decided to publish the papers. In 2004, we published the first volume of Catholic Shia Dialogue. And the book contained papers presented in the conference, but also some extra papers, including a paper that I wrote for the book about Mary, Jesus, and Christianity from Islamic perspective, which I am going to share with you part of it, inshallah. And I'm going to give you the whole paper. So you will have the paper also. Then 2004, in addition to publishing the book, they visited Qom for the second time. This time 4 people visited. First time 2 people. This was first. 2 people from Ampleforth, 2 people from Heathrow College. We planned for the second round, 2005, then 2007. So we published 3 volumes. Then for some time we didn't have it because Abbot Timothy moved to Italy. His term finished. Then I think it was 2011 that I took a group of brothers to Rome, a group of PhD students, and I met him in St. Beda College. St. Beda College is an English-speaking college in Rome. He was a religious director there. And we said, let's resume this now in Italy. So the first 3 rounds were in UK, the fourth in Sant Anselmo. It's a college for the Benedictines. Then the fifth, again, round was in Com. The sixth was in Assisi in Italy. And we published 6 volumes of books, Catholic Shia Dialogue. Then the seventh was in Iran, Qom and Mashhad. The eighth, when we were in Mashhad, I remember after one of the meals, we were discussing about the next round. Where should it be? We have a Kenyan member of our dialogue. He suggested to go to Kenya because it always was in Europe and Iran. So we said it's a good idea. We go to Kenya to take this good news there. So September 2017, for the 8th round of Catholic Shia Dialogue, we went to Kenya, and Sister Nasim was there, Sister Isra was there, Sister Zainab, we were not there at that time. Then in Kenya, in addition to the programs, Catholic Shia Dialogue, we had 2 half-day programs in Tangaza University. And the theme was Unity of God and Unity in God. And they so much loved this topic and discussion that the chancellor at the end said, I am transformed. This is not conversion to another faith. This is conversion in your own faith. Yeah, this transformation means everyone goes deeper into their faith. If you really go deeper, you become more open. If you go more into the surface of your faith, you become more harsh because you go to the skin. Like, if you go inside the egg or to the shell. If you go to the shell, you become harder. You go to inside, you become softer. So he said, I am transformed. And we were already transformed. So they said, let's every year have a program in Tangaza under the theme Unity of God and Unity in God. So thanks to God, we started 3-week course on Islam and Christianity at Tangaza University. We sent lecturers and we sent our young clerics from Qom to experience being with Christian in a Christian university. This is very important. So it went very well. Then the second year, we repeated. And this time we added going to Mariapolis, Piero for Focolare. It's about 1 hour away from Nairobi. Then the third year, then there was COVID. Then after COVID resumed, 4th year, 5th year. So last summer, we had the 5th annual summer course, Islam and Christianity in Tangaza University. So now we are collaborating with, these Christian orders, religious orders, having programs. We invited the head of that program twice to come. So it has become very good, offshoot of our Catholic Shia Dialogue. Then the 9th round, we had it in the UK. Then the 10th round, we had it in France. Then 11th round, we had it recently in South Africa. And God willing, the 12th round will be in Senegal. Yeah, so for the first time, we are going to West Africa. We published 6 volumes. When Abbot Timothy was towards the end of his life, thanks to God, we received an award from Iranian president, and he came to Iran and he received the award. I was very happy that he received this before passing by. So there was appreciation of our work. So this is one line of our dialogue, but we also continued with the Focolare, starting in the UK, then in other countries, and we started something very interesting. After many years of knowing each other, it was 2015 that we with my wife, we took up a group of sisters to Lopiano for the second time. Lopiano is a small town for the Focolare. Everyone, there are about maybe 200, 300 people. Everyone tries to live this spirituality of love and unity. And they have a university in Sofia. So there were a group of sisters who had visited Italy and Lopiano, but this time we planned a 4-week program to observe their formation. Because anyone who wants to join Focolare should spend the time in Lopiano for formation. And they used to come also afterwards to Monte, but now Monte is. So we had very wonderful time there, and our sisters remained there for 4 weeks. Then they invited me to teach interreligious dialogue from Islamic perspective for their master's students. So in 2016, I went to teach. And afterwards, I had a meeting with the president of Sofia at that time, Professor Piero Coda. And I told him, this is very historical moment for our relations with Focolare. It's a turning point. I told him, Piero, I know you are very committed to work for unity, because this is the main philosophy and spirituality. And I am also trying to bring unity at every level that I can, family, community, Muslims and Christians, human. But I told him, I think we are stuck. We are in dialogue with each other, we love each other, we trust each other, but it seems we are not going further. Yeah, I don't think this is enough, that we have this kind of relation. It should be more. So I suggested to try meeting every few months. I said I am now in London, because in 2014 I moved to London again to be in charge of Islamic Center of England. So I said every few months I come to Lopiano, we discuss about unity, bring our resources together and ask God to guide us. And I said, I am sure if we really do our best to ask God for guidance, He will guide us. Because the Quran says this. الَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا. Those who struggle in our way, we will certainly guide them. But I said something that maybe no one had said before. And maybe some people don't like this. I don't know, do you like it or not? Still, you don't know what it is, yeah? So I said this. I said, I cannot say honestly to God that I did my best for understanding your plan if I only read Muslim texts and discuss with Muslims. You also cannot say to God, you did your best for understanding His will if you only discuss with Christians and read Christian books. We need to bring our resources together. Whatever I know, whatever you know, bring our traditions, everything together, and ask God to guide us. God may guide us through Christian side or Muslim side or even someone from outside. Maybe when we are meeting, we hear something from someone else. Doesn't matter. You cannot say to God, God, please guide me so that I say to the other party what we should do. This is religious ego. Yeah, many times in interreligious dialogue, everyone tries to say the best things. Yeah, the Muslim side or Christian side or Jewish side, they try to say that we have better things in our tradition. They may respect the other party, but they are sure that they have better things to offer. But our way is different. I say, we come together to invite God to speak. Dialogue is good, but it's not enough. We need, after some years of dialogue, trusting each other, loving each other, understanding each other, now we need to switch off our tongues and listen to God. Okay? With my Christian brothers and sisters, we should both now listen to God. Maybe God speaks through a Muslim mouth or Christian mouth. It doesn't matter. Even if God speaks through an outsider, it doesn't matter. If God speaks to me through even, I don't know, animals, birds, nature, it doesn't matter. Just please speak to us. We don't want to say to God, no, please only speak to me through the Quran or through, Muslim scholars, or you say just through the Bible and through the Christian scholars. No, God, please speak to us from anywhere and any language that you like. So he very much liked the idea. And he said, what should we call this? And I didn't think about name because I was not sure he accepts. And it just came to my mind, Wings of Unity. Because if you want to fly, you need to have two wings. Even if you have a very big wing, you cannot fly. With two smaller wings, you can fly, but with a big wing, big alone, you cannot fly. Okay? So we started this project in 2016. The discussion was in April 2016. In July 2016, we had the first round of Wings of Unity. And it went very well, thanks to God. And we decided to continue. And we decided to have summer courses, weeks of unity, etc. So the very first week of unity we had in North Italy was August 2017. And people so much, the youths so much liked it, that encouraged us to continue. Because we said it has taken us many years, by that time maybe it was 16, 17 years to reach that point. But the youths don't need to wait that long. When they saw our unity, they quickly plugged in. And one moment, I give you the book for the ideas I wanted to mention. Maybe these things which are not in the book, I tell you. So I'm sure you love stories more than just the theoretical thing. So we went to Mount Dolomites in northern Italy. And very naturally, some of the youths sat together on the edge of a cliff. So first one, then two, then three. Muslim Christian youths sat together and started praying to God, Islamic Christian prayers. Then they said, we felt very tranquil, very peaceful at that time. Even one of our brothers from Montreal, who has, done 2 PhDs, is not a naive person. He said, I pray to God to die with such tranquility. To die with such a tranquility. And I always say this is a sign of a strength. If I pray to God and a Christian is present and I am troubled, means I'm not strong in my faith. Yeah? If I say, Christians should go away so that I can, connect to God. Or you Christians say Muslims should be away so that I can connect to God without problem. This shows we are not strong. Because if you are connected to God, presence of other people should not disturb you. Indeed, if there is another person who shares love for God with you, the presence should enrich you. Okay? We experience this, that when we are together with our Christian brothers and sisters, we feel more closer to God. This is why we call these trips like pilgrimage, because we have this same kind of spirituality that when we go for pilgrimage, not when we go for holidays. This is not normal holidays. This is pilgrimage, holidays. Yeah. Pardon? Yes, sir. Yeah. So we are always feeling very good when we are with our Christian brothers and sisters. Why? Because God has brought us together. There is no reason, we should come here, except our joint love for God. Why we come here? Why we don't go to other places, in our own countries and save money? Because we think God wants us to be together. So, if presence of a person of another faith disturbs your relation with God, it's a problem. If it doesn't make difference, still it's a problem. If presence of another person who loves God enriches your relation with God, you are on the right track. Okay? If you go to for example, as a Muslim, you go to a mosque and pray and you feel good. And when you go to a church, you feel bad. Or you as a Christian go to church, you feel good. You go to mosque, you feel bad. It means you are still very much at the beginning. Because every place which is dedicated to remembrance of God, you should feel at home. If you are a servant of God, you should feel at home, whether you are in a mosque or in church. The Quran teaches us that not only mosques are sacred and to be protected, but also churches and synagogues and monasteries should be protected, because يُذْكَرُ فِي حَسْمُ اللَّهِ كَثِيرًا. The Quran says mosque, synagogues, churches and monasteries, all four are protected because these are places that are the name of God is mentioned there kathiran, a lot. So I, as a Muslim, if I go to a church, I feel very happy. If I have a choice to say my prayer on the street or in a park or the church, I prefer to say my prayer in the church, because I think it's a place that people have been worshiping God for years and is dedicated to God. A street is not dedicated to God. Park is not dedicated to God. But church is dedicated to God. Mosque is dedicated to God. Synagogue is dedicated to God. Monastery is dedicated to God. So it's sacred for me. Therefore, we had a program in University of Nairobi. Now we have also a day conference in University of Nairobi when we go to Tangaza. And one year we were talking about respecting the sacred places and figures of other religions. And I said, we need to respect the sacred places of others. But when it comes to Abrahamic faith, respecting their places is not the sacred places of the others, it's of ours. Because for us, church is not a sacred place for others, it's a sacred place for ours as well. And if a church is in danger, I as a Muslim have to protect the church. Yeah, I have to protect mosque, I have to protect the church. Because it's sacred for me, it's not just sacred for you. If it is just sacred for you, I need to respect your place, yeah? But I don't need to endanger my safety to protect your place. The maximum is I respect your place. But because it is also sacred for me, so even if I have to endanger my life, I have to protect your church. Okay? So, our understanding is that our relation is not something to tolerate, something to struggle, how I remain faithful and honest to my tradition and at the same time meet Christians and, be friends with the Christians, or Christians think the same way. I want to be a good Christian, but these days we have to have good relation with Muslims. Otherwise, we will have war and tension. I think this is too little. Our relation is not a necessity of life today. Our relation is necessity of our faith in God. Okay? If we are really servants of God and lovers of God, we should try to bring all people of God together. We should try to strengthen the camp of God, not the camp that I am in. And unfortunately, many times in the course of history, Muslims, Christians, they didn't really work as collaborators for God. Yeah, many times we have had peaceful relations, but we didn't really collaborate, we didn't cooperate for faith. Maybe we cooperated in science, maybe in business, in trade, but not many cases that at least I am aware that Muslims and Christians sat together and planned how we can invite people towards God. Everyone tried to do their own, and sometimes even they looked at each other as rivals. Yeah, it's like two businessmen that want to conquer a market. I want this market to be mine. They said, I want to be mine. Many times, unfortunately, Muslims and Christians looked at this way, But this is wrong. We are servants of God. We should invite people towards God, not towards ourselves and not towards our ways. Only towards God. And we have a joint mission to bring people towards God. We should not be part of the equation, because unconsciously, many times we say, I call people towards God, but I define where is God. My community says, where is God? If you go to God from other ways and other, religions, you are not reaching God. Only come my way. This is what unconsciously or consciously we say and think, unfortunately. But we have responsibility to help everyone in their journey towards God. If a Christian needs my help or a Muslim needs my help, I should help them. Not that I should say, let me first ask you, how do you want to get closer to God? If it is my way, I help you. Otherwise, I don't help you. If we live a place that Christians, for example, their church is flooded, I as a Muslim should help them or not? If they need help, I should help them. Because if they don't have church, then how are they going to practice? Or if I am Christian and Muslims, their mosque is flooded, should I help them or say, no, I don't bother? Your mosque is your responsibility. If I am a servant of God, anyone who wants to connect to God and remember God, I should help, whether it's Muslim or a Christian. So our ideas about Muslim-Christian relations over years has evolved. We first started with dialogue, knowing each other, collaborating, but now we are not satisfied with dialogue. I think dialogue is too little. Dialogue is too little. It's like, for example, a man and woman want to get married. Yeah? So they say, let us talk and see what are the expectations of life that we have, So you maybe once, twice, 10 times, they talk. This is dialogue. But marriage is not only dialogue. Marriage is unity. Dialogue is preparation for marriage and even continues after marriage, but after marriage is dialogue in the spirit of unity. Then when you marry, you form a unity, and then you can have children and plan for them together with unity. So we don't want to keep talking to each other, we should be united. Still, we will talk together, but in a united way. In the sense that it doesn't matter, many times with our, Wings of Unity, or so far we have had 12 rounds of Wings of Unity within this 2016 till now. Many times when we talk to each other, we don't think who is Muslim, who is Christian. Not because we are not serious about our faith. Actually, both parties are very serious about their faith. But the conversation takes place at the level that it doesn't, come to our mind, the other party is Christian or the other party is Muslim. So we need to work for unity. And I think this is the sign of really believing in universal God, God of everyone. If God is God of everyone, we need to rise towards God. One of the reflections came to my mind was this one. I said, there are two ways of loving God. One way, which is more common, unfortunately, is that you love God in a possessive way. So God is mine. As you love your car, your house, your children, your family, say, God, I love God, but it means God is mine. Yeah? Then I don't give you permission to share the same God. If you have to get permission from me, this God is God of Muslim, not yours. And you say, this is God of Christians, not yours. Sometimes people fighting, that are gods the same or not, This is very wrong. This means that we want to possess God and have monopoly over God, and then we turn God into a tribal God, into a sectarian God. Then this God serves my interests. This God tells me, go and conquer their land. People say, you don't have right. You say, no, God is telling me to kill them and get their land. I'm doing this for the sake of God. But you are not doing this for the sake of God. You are doing it for your own ego, and you are misusing God to justify your action. Because God of a tribe has not that much interest in another tribe. At least the priority is this tribe. It's God of this tribe, God of this nation. Yeah? Why God of this nation should have equal love for another nation? It doesn't make sense. If it is God of this nation, for sure the priority is this nation. Maximum is say, okay, be peaceful with them. But the priority is this nation. But the second way of love is, instead of you try to possess God, you will be possessed by God. Instead of bringing God down to the level of a tribe or sect, you rise towards God and become a universal figure. You look at people from the eyes of God. God doesn't have Muslim eyes or Christian eyes. Do you accept or not? Is God a Muslim or Christian? Neither Muslim nor Christian. Yeah? But many of us have converted God. Muslims have converted God to Islam many times. Not everyone, but many. Christians have converted God to a Christian God. Yeah? But God is neither Muslim nor a Christian nor a Jew. God is God for everyone. He's universal. Once this example came to my mind when we were talking about how to look at things from God's perspective. Imagine you have your grandfather, then you have your father and mother and siblings, then you have your uncle and family, the family of uncle, and your aunt, for example, maybe one uncle, maybe two uncles. Anyway, imagine your grandfather, his children, and then grandchildren. For you, your close family, immediate family is your father, mother, and siblings. You look at the family of the uncle and the aunt as close people to you, hopefully. Hopefully there is love between these families. Yeah, the maximum is love, but they are not your family. They are far. Your family is father, mother, siblings. Yeah? You never feel comfortable, for example, to stay too long in their houses, etc. You want to go back to your own home. So there is respect, but there is wall. There's partition. This family is different from that family. Yeah, this partition. But what about your grandfather? How he looks at these families? He doesn't see the partition. He knows that for them there is partition, but for him, all the family are together. Yeah? So even if he has more love for one of the children, still for him it's one family. And he expects everyone to respect that this is one family. And it's impossible that grandfather gives permission to one child to kill or attack other children. It's impossible. How can anyone really think that God gives permission to attack or even boycott others? It's impossible. The very first and minimum expectation of any father is that the children should love each other. Yeah? If you don't talk to your brothers and sisters, your parents are happy? Even if you don't talk, you don't fight, but just don't talk to each other. They are not happy. They say you should be together. If you love us, you should love through loving your children, your siblings. So our understanding over years has not changed in the sense that we believe what we used to believe is wrong, but it has grown. So we feel that what we used to think is right, but not enough. So everything I said 20 years ago, still I can say it, but I see it's not doing justice. Because more. So relation with Christians in the past was something that, I'm still able to say. But now I say more. It's no matter just dialogue. It's not no matter just collaboration. It's unity. Is to restore the camp of God and to really have central position for God. One question that I ask, maybe I can ask here. Are you ready for a challenge? Yes? So, this is the challenge. Imagine you don't need to imagine, you are already here. You have left Nigeria, India, another country, have come to Geneva. Okay? And people here speak French. You are on the street in Geneva. You don't know French. Everyone is speaking French. Then you see someone speaks your mother tongue. Do you feel happy or not? You feel very happy that this person is speaking my mother tongue.
Very big excitement.
Very big excitement, yeah? And if someone asks you how much you share, what do you say? You say we share a lot. We come from the same country. We speak the same language. We have the same food, the same, customs. Yeah. If they ask you in your own country how much you share with a fellow countryman or woman, maybe you say 20%, because then you say he's from another village. I'm from this village. We have differences. Our dialect is different. But when you meet them in Geneva and no one is speaking that, you say, even if it's from the South Nigeria, the other way, South, North, you say we are very united. Isn't it?
Sometimes in the bus in Geneva, I hear people speaking Swahili, and I'm so excited.
Yes. So, our judgment of commonalities and differences are very subjective. You cannot just say we share this much based on writing down your commonalities and differences. It very much depends on the framework against which you are judging. Okay? So, if someone shares with you not only your language and being from the same country, if someone shares with you, for example, the same tribe or the same city, you say we share a lot. Then if you have blood relation, say, oh, we are brothers, we are sisters, yeah? Or for people, for example, that they love football. If they support the same club, for them, this is the most important thing in their life. Yeah, they are happy to, leave everything aside just to enjoy watching that club or meeting that club, So now my challenging question is this. Okay? If you meet someone that shares with you not your tribe or language or football club, shares with you the same God, how happy you should become. And if someone asks you how much you share with this person, what do you say? If you say I share 20% with this person because we have differences, it means that God is not important for you. It means God is 20% important for you. Yeah? If I say 80% is different because my language is different, my food is different, my dress is different. So it means that you give same value to these things as God. God is 20%, 80% are other things. But if you are a lover of God, if you are a mystic, if you are a spiritual person, if you someone has dedicated his life or her life to God, when someone shares with you what is your whole life, then you say he shares with me everything. So why we Muslims and Christians don't feel we share everything? Because we don't make God center. We make our religion center. And this is wrong. Should I worship Islam or I should worship God? Should I worship Christianity or I should worship God? If I worship Islam, I cannot unite with someone who worships Christianity because we have two different gods. But if I worship God, you worship God, we share everything. The rest are details. With your brother from the same father and mother, you feel united, although you are not the same person. You have differences. So I'm not saying forget your differences. I'm not saying compromise about your differences. You can till end of your life continue research, study, discussion about these theological differences. No problem. But never put anything in the place of God. And never dedicate your life to anyone other than God. Okay? So if God is the center, we are united. Perfectly united. If God is not in the center, even I cannot get united with a Shia person, let alone with a Sunni person, let alone with a Christian person. If God is not the center, how can I be 100% united with someone who has his center of life, his own interests, and I have my own interests? How can we get united? But if the center is God, God is common. This is why I believe that we can establish unity with everyone, but to a limited degree. Even with atheists, I can establish some unity. People of goodwill, I can establish some unity. But if unity is built around God, there is no limit. I can perfectly unite with someone who really believes in God and dedicates himself or herself to God. So this is a conversion. this is what we need to do. Everyone in his or her own faith need to go deeper and get closer to the center of our faith, which is God. Don't let anything stop you from getting closer to God. It can be my denomination, it can be even my religion. Religion has to help me to understand God and get closer to God. But if my religion says, now I am your idol, you worship me, you serve me, this is the idol that I leave aside. I say to my religion, as long as you take me towards God, I follow you. But if you want to deceive me and become my second God, no. And unfortunately, many times people worship their religion rather than worshiping God. Worship their scripture rather than worshiping God. Even some people may get angry with me when I ask these questions. Why you are saying you are worshiping religion or scripture? But if you really refine your understanding, you find that many times we suffer from this kind of polytheism. I do everything to increase the number of my group, my sect, my religion. Is God happy with that? No. So this is a new kind of challenge for us. Not new in the sense that it has been new, but it's newly discovered. Maybe in the past they were not paying attention to this. If we want God, we should have godly vision. We should look at everyone from God's perspective. The only way to understand will of God is to be equipped with the eyes of God. If with human eyes you want to understand will of God, you will be always taking the side of your own people. But if you are equipped with the vision of God, then you can understand the will of God. So when we are together, this is my last point. When we are together with brothers and sisters from other faiths, and we are really united, it helps us in understanding better the will of God. Because when with my fellow Christian, Muslim brothers and sisters, we are together trying to understand the will of God, the chance of our understanding being sectarian or tribal becomes less. Yeah, I as a Muslim and you as Christian have high, likelihood and probability of being affected by your culture, upbringing, education. I help you to get rid of unnecessary filters. You help me to get rid of unnecessary filters. And then we are together, instead of, reducing our understanding, we widen the scope, the vision. So if I want to have better universal view, what helps me is to have other people of God with me. And then together we look at things. So I think this is what we need to put in our formation for next generation of monks, imams, nuns, religious people, religious leaders. They must be equipped with this. They need an injection of this idea very quickly. One shot first, and then every few months shot till they can get rid of this virus of sectarianism and egoism. It must be in the formation from the very beginning. And this is what we are trying. So if someone is studying with us even 1 year, like Ali is in our youth track, he should get this shot. Eliezer studied 1 year. And if someone has studied 20 years, they get the same. Because this is the way forward. The same thing that we in our institute in Qom tell the seminarians, we say to our online students, everywhere. Inshallah, then after some years, you will see we have, inshallah, many people with this vision. And if you agree, you do the same. From now on, you should pass on to the next generation that the only way forward, the only way we can be honestly servants of God is to really make God the center. Not my sect or denomination or faith to be the center. Only God is at the center. I will share with you this the paper which I published for the first volume. We published it also separately. So I give you this. This has here. This has 3 parts. The first part is about our understanding of Lady Mary, our understanding of Jesus, then why I am happy with dialogue with Christians. So 3 parts: Mary, Jesus, Christianity from Islamic perspective. Then, of course, our ideas have developed, and I can give you also this. This is the first round of Wings of Unity, and this is the idea that we teach in Weeks of Unity. So now every year we have also Week of Unity in Sofia. Yeah, I have only 2 copies.
Okay, they can have a look also.
Yeah.
Thank you
But
very much.
yeah, but they are also online. You can read online. Yeah. So I hope you found this lecture useful, inshallah. If you have any questions, any comments, I am at your service.